Yeah, my house is supposed to be getting painted, but my damn painter keeps calling out every day. He's like a crackhead, man. He got more excuses than a little bit. Every day he's like, "Hey man, my stomach hurts. Can I come tomorrow?" I'm like, "Bro, look, tomorrow's the last day. If you don't come tomorrow, I'm gonna have to hire somebody else."
Yo, am I tripping? Is that Brandon?
Yeah.
This dude, man.
What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? What's up? I'm sorry I'm late. Of course, I'm always late. So.
He got to make his entrance and stuff. Build the suspense.
I wish. Where's some headphones at, man?
We gotta have a word from our sponsors while he finds his headphones.
Look, man, if we could get some sponsorship on some headphones, that'd be real dope.
Heck yeah.
No, Ray J got some Raycons or something like that. What?
Yeah.
We gotta link up with him.
Yo,
I just tag them.
Those unbreakable glasses, you guys see those?
Yeah. You're like, why are you gonna make me do this?
That's yeah, man. Yo, I'm ready for this. For this "Am I Trippin" joint, man. This was the moment we was all waiting for, man. I've been thinking about that "Am I Trippin" joint all day, man. I was like, this joint kind of tough. Am I tripping? Yo, I was over here throwing random scenarios. It's like, am I tripping? Yeah.
You gotta have like a cut scene or something.
Yeah.
Right before that "I am tripping" segment.
And then you have to yeah, you tripping.
Yeah.
Like
you gonna be able to
is
see
he
my
tripping or nah?
Yeah, man, that's kind of tough, man. You're right. We better make some way, trademark that joint, something.
Hey, tell him, man, put it in the comments. Is he tripping or nah?
Right.
We're gonna have to keep a scoreboard too.
Oh God.
Getting tripping in a
the
week.
same thing. This is the inaugural "Am I Tripping?" This is the first. So Brandon, if you screw this up, you get no more turns at "Am I Tripping?" You gotta do this right, man.
That ain't right. So I can't find my headphones, so I guess I'm just gonna have to wing it. You know what I'm saying? Can y'all hear me fine?
Yeah,
you sound good.
Okay, all right. So look, I hire a painter at my house, and I'm like, I need some work done. So he comes through, and he gives me, evaluation with the estimate. Everything's good. Dude tells me, hey, look, this is a price that I'm gonna do everything for, but it doesn't include paint. So I'm like, oh, no big deal. I'm like, I like your price. Your price is great. You know what I'm saying? So I go ahead, I try to get paint, and literally he wanted a specific paint, and the paint's by Sherwin-Williams. So shout out to Sherwin-Williams.
Sponsorship.
Get all the sponsors we can get. So, go to Sherwin-Williams the next day, he calls in an order. I literally go there, and because of COVID and everything, there's a shortage. Like when I say shortage, I thought I was in Walking Dead because there wasn't not 1 gallon on the, you know what I'm saying? So I asked the lady, I'm like, look, when you supposed to get some more in? She's like, maybe like 2-3 days from now, you could check back. But she's like, you literally got to check. As soon as we get the truck in, you got like an hour window and we're going to be sold out. So I'm like, bet, So I call the painter back. The painter's like, oh, I call bullshit. Like, everybody has paint. So he starts calling. He can't find paint anywhere. So I use Facebook, hashtag, let's get a little Facebook in here. I get on Facebook and I hit up all my friends. I'm like, yeah, anybody seen some paint? Anybody know painters? Blah, blah, blah. One of my guys from high school, like, yo, I got a hookup on paint if you need paint. And I'm like, through who? And he's like, Sherwin-Williams. So I'm like, this is all like going perfect. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to Sherwin-Williams, they wanted $680 for this paint, okay? So I'm like, price to get it, I got quoted was $680 to get my house painted, plus $680 in materials, okay? I'm fine with that. So I go on Facebook, like I said, guys like, yo, I'm gonna give you a discount. I'm like, great. I go pick up the paint, 15 gallons for like $340. Can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? I paid like 20 some bucks a gallon. Can't beat it, right? So I get the paint, I call my painter, and I call the painter, and it's like Friday. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you want to come in and paint today? He's like, no, I'll start Monday. So Monday comes, I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm trying to get the house painted because, you know, my girl just recently moved in. The kids are coming home from college. I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, shit's just starting to come together, you know? So Monday comes, I go to work, I get a phone call from him. He's like, hey, I'm about to leave the house. I'm about to hit your house. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I really didn't need the heads up, but I'll see you when you get there. He calls 20 minutes later. It's like, you know, my stomach's hurting. Let's just tomorrow. I'm like, look, we've all had bad stomachs. So I'm like, okay, no biggie, whatever. I let it slide, you know? Tuesday comes, calls me again. He's like, man, you know, last night I was up eating pickles and raisins. And, you know, I think the bananas got to my stomach, and that's why my stomach is all messed up. So I can't come again today. Long story short, this goes on for like 3-4 days. You know what I'm saying? We're through the whole week now. It's Friday. I'm like, look, man, you come in. I'm like, you're more than welcome to come on the weekend. And he's like, man, I'm just really sick. I can't. I'm like, look, just rest up. I'll see you Monday. Monday morning, he calls me. He's like, I'm coming. I'm feeling better. I'm coming. I'm thanking you for being patient. Half hour goes by. I see his phone number come up. But instead of it being him talking, it's his wife. His wife is like, hey, I don't want to say the guy's name. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, blase blah can't come in today. He's not feeling good. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, look, just tell him I said I hope he feels better. You know, we'll shoot for tomorrow. Well, you know, I'll make sure he's there tomorrow if I got to drive him myself. So I'm like, okay, all right, that's good. He doesn't show up. He calls me 2 o'clock, was like, bro, look, I can't come again. This goes on for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I finally call him and I'm like, look, man, look, just bring my deposit back. It's all good. Well, he has a miracle where he feels better. So my girlfriend's getting fed up. You know, I got the heat of everybody. My girlfriend's mad. You know, either my kids are mad. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to paint it. This whole time, my house is paint ready. Like, I got all my stuff in the middle of the rooms. So I'm like living only in a quarter of my house instead of being able to be free. You know what I'm saying? So Monday calls out again. Swore up and down he'd be there. Doesn't show. Tuesday doesn't show. Wednesday, I wasn't even expecting him. He shows up. I'm just thankful. I'm like, the dude could have, I told him too. I said, listen, if your stomach hurts so bad, I got a spare bathroom. You can use it. Do whatever you got to do. Here, like, I just need you to come and paint. I'm like, kids. Definitely. I apologize. I had that out. So
commercial break.
Yeah. You saw how I had to answer, right? You know,
all that bass just came out.
Yeah. Like, I was about to actually cut my phone off. So he finally shows up on Wednesday, right? Paints my room, paints it one coat, paints the ceiling. I'm like, damn, man, this room looks amazing. But I like look at little spots and I'm like, yo, you're supposed to do 2 coats. And he's like, I'm going to go back over it. Just have faith. I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, it's the end of the day. And he's like, do you mind if I just leave my stuff? Because I'm coming back in the morning. And I'm like, to me, him not showing up, him actually showing up and him leaving his stuff sounds like he'll come back the next day. You know what I'm saying? So me being a nice guy, I'm like, okay, look, out of the 680, you've almost done half. You know what I'm saying? You need a second coat and do the trim, but I'm going to go ahead and give you half. You know what I'm saying? So I give him $350, which is more than half of 680. So I give him the $350. It's Wednesday. You know, Thursday, he calls me in the morning and he has the nerve to tell me he worked so hard the day before, he's going to need a day off because he's tired. And he feels like because the last 2 weeks of him not feeling good, being sick, it's gotten to him and he's just tired. He's exhausted. So I'm like, you know what? Rest up. You worked hard, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So Friday comes, dude calls out again. You know what I'm saying? I get shitty. I'm at work. I'm just like, look, man, I can't do it. It's cool. I'm like, look, you called out way too many times. So Friday, I come home. I tell my girlfriend, I'm at work. I'm like, baby, I'm going to keeps interrupting me. I'm gonna have so much editing on this. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if I don't pay attention to her, she gonna be mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So look, so anyway, back to the story, right? So Friday, I'm at work. He calls off, and I'm mad, but I'm very professional. So I'm just like, look, cool, just rest up. I'll see you Monday. You know what I'm saying? So I'll call my girlfriend, and she's like, baby, she's like, you know, the girls are coming home from school. She's like, this is messed up. And I'm starting to not feel manly because I should have gotten this dude's ass. Like, I should have been like, no, you're showing up today or else. Like, you know what I'm saying? But instead, I tell the dude, I hope you feel better. I'll see you Monday. You know what I'm saying? So I call him back. After talking to my girl, I'm like, I'm going to call him back. I'm going to get him in here on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So I call him back. Dude's like, hey, look, Brandon, you know what? You're right. You know, I do need to get this done. I'm going to come Saturday. So I'm like, cool. I'm like driving home. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to paint this shit myself. You know what I'm saying? I was like, am I tripping? I'm going to paint this shit myself. So I go ahead Friday. I come home from work. It's like 6 o'clock. I paint until 10 o'clock. Okay. I paint everything. But the only thing I don't paint the ceiling and I don't paint the trim. Okay. So I go to bed. It's like 12 o'clock on Friday night. Saturday morning comes. I wake up with a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, when he shows up, he going to see all this shit done. You know what I'm saying? He don't show up. So, but he calls out and he's like, I'm going to show up Sunday. So once again, Sunday, I'm smiling. I'm happy. You know, I don't drink coffee, but I'm sipping that tea. He don't show up again. So Monday shows. I go to work. He actually says he's going to show up. Dude actually showed up yesterday, okay? Shows up. Comes in my house. He sees everything's done. Starts grabbing all his shit. Calls me and he's like, He's like, did you use my tools? Did you use my tools? And I'm like, does it matter? I'm talking to him on the phone at work. And he starts getting smart with me. And I tell you, man, you can't have somebody in your house getting smart with you while you're not home. You know what I'm saying? So he starts getting smart with me. I was like, Ron, listen, look, I've given you 2-3 weeks almost to paint. And I was like, literally, I did all that in 4 hours. And he's like, well, then he starts critiquing my work. And he's like, well, you should have painted the ceiling first and then did the walls. Dude, I lost it. I was like, look, do me a favor. Stay at the house. I'm on my way home. I left my job. I literally walked out on my job, my real job that pays me money. Like, I literally bolted out. My boss was like, have a nice day. He didn't even ask me why I needed to leave. He heard me cussing on the phone, was like, go handle your business. You know what I'm saying? I leave work. Dude, I'm flying home. Like, I'm like, when I...
No, we lost him.
Oh, God. She took the phone from him? Oh, no. Oh, God.
Say, to be continued. That.
Oh, my gosh. Brandon.
I'm sorry. I start heading home. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to catch a case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm driving home, passing on the double line. I'm like, get home. He's nowhere to be found. So I call him and I'm like, Ron, where you at? He's like, I had to go to the gas station because my blood sugar. You know, this guy calls me back in 2 minutes and is like, hey, you know, you just got me pulled over because I was talking to you on the telephone. He's like, you just got me pulled over. I was talking to you on the telephone. Now they want to rush me to the hospital because I'm slurring my words and they want to make sure I'm all right. So he's like, I'm going to come back to your house after I get done at the hospital.
Too much.
So I'm already home from work. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Ron. Like, just show up, man. So he goes to the hospital, calls out, and he's like, I need somebody to come pick me up, so I'm not gonna be able to work at the house today. And I'm like, now my question for you guys is, am I tripping? Or should I let him come do the work tomorrow?
Look, man.
Who wants to go first?
First of all,
Who wants to unpack that one?
How far back do you and Ron go?
I just met the dude 3 weeks ago.
You met him 3 weeks ago, and you gave him that many chances. You were so you couldn't find nobody else in that many times to go to. You
Holidays.
That many chances.
Everybody who was willing to do the job couldn't do it until the following weekend after Thanksgiving. The kids would have came and gone. I wanted the house to look different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I did a little tour. Huh?
He was doing all this, and you was still giving him another half?
Nah, look. So this.
It might sound like he tripping, y'all.
Yeah.
So he did half. He did like a third of the work. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, look, I'll give you half the pay because I was really trying to get him to come back the next day. But then he just didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tripping because I shouldn't have paid him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's where we need to start. Yeah. To answer your question, yes, you are tripping because I don't know how you got that kind of patience, bro. I hung up on Xfinity and I needed them. It took 45 minutes. I was like, man, I don't need to be upsold. I know it's your job, but I was like, I hung up and I had to call it back. I was like, no, I gotta wait again.
So look,
I ain't got no patience.
Look. This is where I messed up. Is I gave him $100 deposit. And then I gave him another $250 after he was done. So I gave him half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After he was done, what?
After he
Right.
Chapter 3 of excuses.
After that first coat.
Right. The first coat. He was supposed to put 2 coats. I know. Me saying it out loud now, I realize.
It's all right. This is what this is for.
Right.
No. So when you're dealing with the contractors in that regard, it's like, first of all, did you have a signed agreement of what was going to be done?
Nah, it was all verbal.
But they say, yeah, lawyer up. You never know. And then you started out by saying you're not going to use his name. So I think Stxhes name, right?
Huh? I couldn't. My icons fell out. I couldn't hear it.
We can edit that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They don't actually pay attention to all the details. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then Phil, this is where you or Don, this is where you edit that George Bush clip. What's the saying goes with J. Cole? He sampled it.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Fool me twice.
You can't fool twice.
I can't fool the fool.
So look, we're gonna have to go around the room. Don, is he tripping?
It's hard, man. Like I feel for him a little bit because look, I feel for him a little bit because Dwayne hit the nail on the head when he asked if there was a contract. So when you're doing word of mouth and you're trying to take somebody for their word, you give him a shot, right? And he already given him a deposit too. He get $100 might not be much the most, but when you give somebody money and you shake on it, it's supposed to mean something. So when he stopped showing up, that would have been the part where I would have been trying to get that money back. The first couple times when he show up, I've been like, all right, if you really can't do this, whatever the case may be, I don't need any excuses. Just give me the deposit back. We'll move on. No feelings hurt, nothing like that. But when he already showed that he couldn't be reliable, I wouldn't want him in my house. Because then I'm thinking he's keeping my house. Like he came here, he got a little bit of money off of me. Now I'm wondering about him.
But what he did is took that money for another job. He was trying to complete another job. So you should have went back to the first one and offer to give him more money. But that's what you do with the contractors too. You offer an incentive on the back end if they finish the job ahead of schedule.
Really wanted to do the work, I wouldn't have waited that long. That's the lesson learned is I tried waiting 2 weeks because I really didn't want to paint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
I feel you. It has to hurt to pay $350 to paint your own basement, though. You know, like that dude. It's almost like if he actually went to the hospital he probably needed to come back for that second half because his insurance is trash or something. So they're like, oh well, I do it now. I'm down there now. Like that copay wasn't doing it.
I said I know he'll show up because he got bills. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I think the only reason why he showed up the first day is because his car really broke down, so he had to pay for the alternator. He needed money.
All right. Next up. Phil.
What is this? The whole episode of us? Am I tripping? I thought we were just doing.
So yes or no? Is he tripping?
Oh, I already said. Oh yeah. You did the right thing. I mean, the therapy is definitely showing in this situation. I can appreciate your patience, and you did leave out the part that you tried to go back to the other dude because that probably would have helped your case in this situation. But nah, I mean. Dealing like I'm in the service industry too. I mean, we're doing moves and stuff like that and auction and downsizing, and I get, as much as we try and make sure everybody's happy, we still get the clients that we do absolutely everything for, and he's still like, there's a scratch on my couch, I want $5,000 off. And I'm like, bro, that just loses hope for like, and that's a situation we're dealing with right now. And it's almost like you just want to, all right, whatever, I just don't even want to deal with you anymore. So my patience is low with people. If I'm in a position of power like you would be, no, I'm not allowing you. And if you come back to my house and I'm there, it's definitely gonna be a problem. I'm not even gonna be able to respect you at that point.
His dude said, please do me a favor, just stay. You asked him to stay there?
Yeah.
You stay right there.
Literally, I was on the phone. I was like, yo, just listen, just do me a favor, please just stay there. I'm on my way. He's like, listen, I'm just gonna just clean up my stuff and just get out of here because you don't want me here. I want you here. Just please. Listen, I was like, listen, I'm 15 minutes from, I will be there. Really, I was a half hour. But I knew I could get there if I really gunned it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. All right. On my case though, before I make my decision, I want to get, you said you want to give us a tour?
Yeah, look, let me show you. I'll show you real quick. Yeah. Oh, shit.
He's like, oh yeah, man, I'm tripping.
So like this was behind me, okay? Y'all know what the color was right? So I don't know if I put it around. So this is the new color, right? It's like a gray.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which opens up the room. Mm-hmm. Like it just makes it so much bigger. You know what I'm saying?
You did all this. This was all you.
So yeah, so look. I'm not gonna take credit because look, he painted the ceiling and he painted all of this one coat. So when I would go over, you would still see brown behind some of the spots. You know what I'm saying? I painted a second coat, so that's why it looks so fresh. You know what I'm saying? So not only did I paint this, I painted in here. I painted this wall. I painted here, like going into here. I painted this whole room. Like, just to let y'all see it, all of this was supposed to be painted for $680. And he was supposed to paint the trim, which he ain't paint none of that shit. So right now the kids is actually putting together some shit. I tried, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it all boils down to is I try to give myself an A for effort. Like y'all know what the colors, well, at least four of y'all. The Wayno don't know what the house looked like before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, so all right. So in my assessment, just like the other fellas said, man, that's more patience that I would have ever known you to have. Giving that, telling that, giving that, yeah, man. So yeah, bro, like way more patience than I would have ever known you to have. That's why I thought you and homie go back. Like I thought, that's the only way he would do. He even gave him another front. Like I'm thinking, oh, these are, like band brothers or something. But nah, man. I mean, you was definitely tripping a little bit. For sure, like later on, later on. But before, nah, that's progress, man. That's a whole different, human being.
Yeah.
I like that.
And so now I'm trying to like tone it down, just be like, who cares, man? It is what it is, man. All things.
However, though, the reason I wanted to see the tour is I wanted to see when you did use the equipment, how much you actually got done with all that. I rented you my joints for half the price, bro.
I appreciate the offer now, you jerk. Where were you at when I was tripping? You know what I'm saying?